It's our reality, just your average family. Trying to be normal and stay out of trouble. Living a double life.
What's up? Today we got the Thundermans Season 2, Episode 2, 4 Soups and a Baby. This episode starts off at Hiddenville High's redesigned set, which I said at the end of episode 20 of Season 1, that Hiddenville High would be getting a redesigned set at the start of this season. And this is it. This is the start of Hiddenville High's redesigned set, which continued to be a part of the show until its end. So, I don't know why they redesigned Hiddenville High. I don't know. But, yeah, we see Phoebe practicing how to ask Dylan out. Cherry, who has longer hair now, by the way, and that continues until the end. And Cherry has longer hair until the end of the show. Yeah, Cherry, who has longer hair now, tells Phoebe that to ask the real Dylan out. Phoebe says, she had a good thing with locker Dylan, and Cherry says, Phoebe has been crushing on this guy for 2 weeks. Yeah, that's more time than she's been crushing on Cole Campbell for about 2 episodes. Oh yeah, bringing back the Cole Campbell roast jokes back. They're being brought back from the dead since Season 1. Yeah, the Cole Campbell roast jokes. Because remember, Phoebe, didn't you have a crush on Cole Campbell? Oh, you don't remember him just like the audience does? Okay, you don't remember him just like the audience. You forgot all about Cole Campbell just like the audience. Yep, just like the audience, Phoebe totally forgot that she had a crush on generic blonde boy Cole. And now she has a crush on generic weird-haired guy Dylan. Played by Jordan Fisher. Yeah, Jordan Fisher, in his one and only appearance on the show, plays Dylan. We all know him for on The Flash. We all know him for playing Bart Allen on The Flash, playing Seacat on Teen Beach and Teen Beach 2, and a bunch of other roles which I probably haven't seen. But I mostly know him from being on The Flash as Barry Allen's son, Bart Allen / Impulse. But Phoebe says, what if Phoebe doesn't even know what they have in common? Cherry says, too bad, Phoebe can't just go through Dylan's backpack. And Phoebe says, what if she can? So Phoebe used her telekinesis without no one seeing to get Dylan's backpack. But then a delivery man giving something to Max falls and says, this is Dora for Max Thunderman. And then Max says, yep, this is definitely Nora. Yep, he really liked that. Max Thunderman. I love Max. Just every episode, Max proved why he is my favorite character out of the first 2 seasons. Yeah. Max signs for his order, and Phoebe questions Max on why he's getting his deliveries at school. Max says Hank took away his mail privileges. Max banished a mailman one mailman into a black hole one time, but the mailman had it coming. Phoebe goes to help Dylan with his backpack, and Phoebe gives him his diaper bag. Dylan says it's clean and not his. Dylan says that it belonged to his baby brother. He has to pick him up from daycare after school. Phoebe says she has a little brother and sister. Look, they have something in common. Dylan asks if she takes them to park after school. Phoebe says no. She means yes. Man, is this show, is Kira Costner really doing as good as Phoebe. Yeah. Phoebe asks if he goes to the park near them. Then Dylan says community center, and Phoebe says that's the one. And Dylan says maybe he'll see her at the park today. Phoebe says it's a date, a play date for the kids. Cherry and Phoebe excitedly squeal over this before Cherry says Phoebe doesn't take Billy nor to the park. Excuse me, Cherry. When did you learn Billy and Nora's names? You have never interacted with them once, only in the pilot episode, I don't think. And you didn't even know their names then. So how do you know their names now? Yeah, I'm saying it. Cherry has not interacted with Billy and Nora since the pilot of the first season, so I don't know how she knows their names now when she didn't then. Maybe off screen she interacted with them. We don't know. But it's kind of weird that on screen she just randomly knows their names despite never interacting with them on screen. Before she called them Phoebe's siblings, but now she knows their names by name. Which is weird because Cherry doesn't even know her own locker, or doesn't even know her own birthday or locker. Surprised she knows who Phoebe's siblings are. Yeah, Cherry says Phoebe doesn't take Billy and Nora to the park every day, and Phoebe says she does now. So after the opening, we see Billy speeding away as Nora shoots laser eyes after him. Nora says laser tag rules, and Billy says no fair. Nora's got burning eye lasers, and Billy has a frozen corn dog, which is kind of funny. They're really not giving us any good Billy joke material. After last season and the whole complaining about the Billy dumb joke being overused, which I will not be surprised if this season continues with that joke because it's the Thurman writers. They cannot give Billy they can't give Billy good material to use. But that joke was kind of funny about how Nora has burning eye lasers and all Billy has is a corn dog. That was funny, but yeah. Nora says life isn't fair, Turbo Toad, and then lasers Billy, but Max is riding his bike, which is a good continuity because I'm glad that they didn't just drop Max's riding his bike thing because in season 1, episode 10, remember, Max actually successfully learned how to ride a bike. So in this episode, we were seeing him again successfully ride a bike, which is a good continuity reference to that season 1 episode. I'm glad they didn't just drop it because they may have dropped the family bike that they all rode off to at the end of that episode, but they're continuing with the Max being good at riding a bike. That's good. Yeah, Max shows them a safe that belongs to Dark. Yeah, Max is holding a box and asks what the box is, and Max says it's a safe that belongs to Dark Mayhem, and it supposedly has something evil inside it because Dark Mayhem is a villain, so it supposedly has something evil inside it. But no one can open it. Yeah, it's a safe that belongs to Dark Mayhem, but no one can open it. Billy says if no one can open it, then why did he buy it? Because Max says that Billy and Nora can help him open it. Yeah, they go inside and open the safe because the safe that Hank doesn't know he paid for. As Max leaves, As Max leaves. As Max leaves they go inside to open the safe. Max leaves. Billy throws his corn dog at Nora, which I'm like, he says, surprise corn dog attack, which I'm like, dude, Billy, I know you're not the smartest brain of the Thurman family, but did you really think throwing a corn dog at your sister, who has laser eyes, who intentionally hurts you, do you think that will go over well? No, it doesn't, and Nora proceeds to laser him as Hank shows up. Told you, Billy, don't mess with Nora. Because if you do, she will find a way to get back at you. This technically happens in the first two seasons, because I think in the season 3 and 4 they stopped doing this joke that Nora can't get away with anything anymore. But here, she's still able to. And Hank sees this and asks if they're playing laser tag again. They say no, but then Hank says, why does the fence have more lasers than Hank's underpants? We did not need to know this, Hank. We did not. We did not need to know that your whole underpants have holes in them. Billy says it was Baby Lulu, which is Nora's doll. I guess it comes back again, but yeah. Nora says, don't blame her doll, and lasers Billy. Hank's like, Nora, and takes them inside to be scolded by Barb and Hank. Hank and Barb are kind of don't do anything in this episode. All they do is go to Cost Club. They ground Billy and Nora, go to Cost Club, come back, but then leave for Cost Club again, and that's it. We don't see them again after they leave for Cost Club again. I think this is the first episode where we'll get to their Cost Club adventure, which is technically nothing, but yeah. But it's just weird that it's the second episode of the second season, and it's the first episode of season 2 where Hank and Barb don't do anything. It's supposed to be the second episode of season 2, but they technically don't do anything. So, yeah. Barb and Hank show Billy and Nora everything. Meanwhile, in the Thunder House living room, Barb and Hank show Billy and Nora everything they lasered during laser tag. Nora says, in their defense, they were just using the powers they were born with. So technically, it's Barb and Hank's fault. Again, that's a good scene. Then Hank says he would never melt off the face of Barb's garden gnome. Nora says, yeah, she did that with one eye closed. Hank says, nice, Nora. Nice, Nora. But then Barb hits him, so he's like, bad, Nora. Which was kind of funny, but Barb abusing her husband, no, that's not funny. That's just Barb hitting Hank to get him to agree with her. Yeah. Thanks to Billy and Nora, Barb and Hank have to drive all over town replacing the stuff that they ruined. Hank says, why drive over town when they can go to Cost Club? When they can get everything at Cost Club. Barb says, Cost Club, Hank? Really? Cost Club? Every time you go there, you buy something that they don't need. Hank says, when has he ever bought something they don't need? Then flashback to Hank showing Barb his new lawnmower barbecue, a Mobecue, and says they need it. Then the flashback ends. Barb says how'd that work for you, Hank? Then cut to another flashback about how they had to go out for dinner that day because the Mobecue made the lawn catch on fire. Well, he spritzed it while calling a guy, telling the people, telling him how his lawn caught on fire. Then the flashback ends. Hank says Barb wouldn't let him get the fire extinguisher cue. Barb says, okay, they'll go to Cost Club, which literally is a Costco reference. My brother Zach works there. Costco. It's a Costco reference. And everything on the place, everything on the things they buy literally has co replaced with club. It's just a Costco branding, but with the word club. With the word club replaced. I've been to Costco. My brother Zach works there. And Jackie works there too. But yeah. And his fiance Jackie works there too. But Cost Club is is a weird thing to just base off of Costco. Cost Club. It's just Costco parody. Anyway, we don't get to see the Costco parody because it would have had them spend money to make a store called Cost Club, which we don't get. We don't see them go to the actual store. They just leave, come back, but then go again, and they're just gone from the episode, which is weird. Why didn't they come back? But yeah, they didn't come back. Well, yeah. Yeah, Barb says, okay, Hank, they'll go to Cost Club, which I always, because in the episode, when I was writing this, I always felt the need to say Costco, because that's what I know it as, but I had to say it's Cost Club. Billy and Nora get excited over Cost Club, but as Phoebe's walking in, she hears Barb's ground Billy and Nora for their laser party. Phoebe says they can't ground Billy and Nora because she has to take them to the park. Her life depends on it. And a funny joke comes in when Hank says, "That's Phoebe. The last time you said that was last week when the internet went out. And look, when the Wi-Fi went out. Look, still breathing." That's funny that little Phoebe is always saying stuff that her life depends on stuff that it actually doesn't depend on, but just Barb says Billy and Nora aren't allowed to leave. Sorry, Phoebe, but Billy and Nora are not allowed to leave the house. Then Nora says, but Nora says they want to go to the park, and Billy says park. But then Barb says, I thought you guys wanted to go to Cost Club. Then Nora says, then Billy says, Cost Club! Which is kind of funny. Yeah. Hank says they're not going anywhere, and Nora says, great. Now they have to work. Now they're stuck opening Max's safe. But Max shows up and covers it up by saying, safety books. Yep, they're cracking open his safety books. They leave, but yeah, because that's what Big Brother Max is all about. Safety. Barb says, you know he's up to something, right? And Hank says, it doesn't matter. He can't hurt them at Cost Club. Again, I keep having the urge to say Costco. Thanks a lot, show. You literally did a parody of a thing that already exists. So now every time I say Cost Club, I have the urge to say Costco. Thanks a lot, show. I didn't know the second episode would have to make me do this. Second episode of the season would have to make me do this. But thanks a lot, show. Now you're making me have the urge to say Costco instead of Cost Club. Costco! There. I said show. I said Costco instead of Cost Club. Yeah. Phoebe says, Max, let her take Billy and Nora to the park for half an hour. And Max says, and go against Barb and Hank's wishes? That would be wrong. Then he takes Billy and Nora to his lair to do something wrong. Phoebe says, this Max not getting his way. Then Max says, the first season where they do an ADR dubbing. Yeah, this is the first time in the season where they do an ADR dubbing of Max saying it looks like he's too busy getting his way. Are they too busy to pay the actor to show up? So they literally just have him say it off screen to say it on screen. So they literally have it say him without us actually seeing Max's face. Is this show too cheap? Because literally that feels like an ADR scene. So I'm just gonna, anytime the show has the characters say their lines without us seeing their face, I'm just gonna say that they're saying ADR-ish. Because it's literally like that. So meanwhile Max's lair, Max is too busy explaining how Billy and Nora are gonna break the safe to see Phoebe using her telekinesis to drag Nora out of Max's lair. Phoebe tells Nora that they're going to the park and they just need Billy. But she got Dr. Colosso instead. Phoebe says, he's not Billy. And Dr. Colosso says, she's not Jennifer Lopez. So they both lose. Phoebe throws Dr. Clausen on the couch and drags Billy out of Max's lair, and they leave with baby Lulu going to the park. And Dr. Clausen says he'll just wait here until Max realizes he's been duped. Then Max again, 80 yards, says he was duped. Again, because they now pay the actor to say that on screen. Couldn't they? Meanwhile, at Hinville Park, I said Hark for some reason. At Hinville Park, Phoebe tells Billy and Nora to keep out on the lookout for a hot guy. Billy says he found one pointing to a sweaty guy. To a hot, sweaty guy. And Phoebe says, I'm saying as in cute, not as in sweaty mess. Which is like, Phoebe, that dude has feelings, you know. It's not his fault why he's a hot, sweaty mess. It's probably really hot in Hinville that day. It's not that guy's fault that why he's sweaty. How dare you, Phoebe? Also, it's weird that this season starts Phoebe's whole... Now Phoebe, like in the last episode, now wears her hair with a singular braid. It's weird, and I don't like it. It's weird, and I don't like it. Get back to showing Phoebe with longer hair, like in the previous season. I don't like it. I don't like it in the last episode. It felt weird, and now in this episode it feels weird. Why are you wearing a braid, Phoebe? It's weird. Also, hey, Jordan Fisher. But anyway. Then Dylan shows up. Dylan says hi to Phoebe and Nora. And Nora asks if Dylan was the hot guy Phoebe was talking about. So Phoebe just jams a lollipop in Nora's mouth. Okay, it doesn't feel good me saying jams a lollipop in her sister's mouth. Yeah. Dylan tells Phoebe about Rusty, his brother, or as he calls him, the Rust Man. He doesn't really call him that. He made it up. Phoebe says she loves babies. Then Phoebe gets what she deserves as Rusty literally throws his toy rattle in Phoebe's face, which was kind of funny, but I guess Phoebe deserves that. You deserve that for calling a sweaty guy not hot. You deserve that for calling a sweaty guy not attractive. Those guys don't have a problem. They don't have any issue. Hashtag for hot, sweaty guys. How dare you, Phoebe? I never knew I'd have to make a hashtag in one of my seasons, in the second episode of season 2, but I am, because sweaty guys need it, because hot, sweaty guys have feelings too, Phoebe. Yeah. Anyway, back to the story. Phoebe gets a toy rattle thrown in her face. Again, it's funny. And Dylan says he hasn't taught Rusty how to talk in front of pretty girls. Billy says he wants to show Rusty the balloon. Phoebe says she doesn't think it's a good idea, but Dylan says it's good, so he and Phoebe can hang out some more. Phoebe says it's a great idea, and whispers to Billy to take his time. Again, Phoebe, hashtag justice for sweaty men. Yeah. Yeah, and Phoebe comments on how baby Lulu and Rusty have literally the exact same stroller. Don't tell me, show you're gonna use that for a switcheroo type plot later, aren't you? Because literally them having the same stroller is a coincidence. Isn't it a coincidence that they just have the same stroller? And Phoebe said, who knew they had so much in common? This park, siblings, other stuff she can't remember. She hasn't thought of yet. Dylan says he's glad they're spending time together. Phoebe says she is too. This is perfect. Then Max shows up, yelling Phoebe's name. Then Phoebe says, until he showed up, going over to talk to Max. Phoebe's going over to talk to Max. Max says he found her. How many parks are there in the city? Then Phoebe points down to the sign saying, "Welcome to Hiddenville." The 100,000 parks in the city. Wow. So Max had to literally travel to 100 parks in that one city. Phoebe says, "Bad timing, Max." Max says she's still building Nora for him. Phoebe says she needed them to make sure that Dylan liked her. Dylan and she had something in common. But now she turns out that Dylan likes her too. When did he say that? He just said that he liked hanging out with her. When did that ever... Are you delusional, Phoebe? When did he say that he liked you? He just said that he likes spending time with you. I don't think that means that he loves you. Yeah. Phoebe's delusional. So Phoebe Lily's like, oh yeah. So Max and Billy and Nora back. Phoebe tells Dylan that Max came up to pick up Billy and Nora and how she's gonna miss them. So Dylan says, does Phoebe want to go with them? And then Max goes to get Billy and Nora, and Nora says, not yet. Billy's teaching the babies their colors in the name of fruits. Then Max says colors aren't fruits and says that they need to go. Let's go open the safe. Nora says she's not leaving and Max can't catch her. Max says he doesn't have to catch her. And he uses his telekinesis to catch baby Lulu. Dylan says really cool how her family's getting along. And Phoebe says they're super tight. Then we see Max saying, "Pick the pace, you whiners." Nora says, "Give me back my doll." And Billy says, "You monster." Billy calls Max the worst babysitter in the world. Which is kind of funny. In the pilot episode, they literally called him the best babysitter ever. Kind of a good parallel between season 1 premiere and the season 2 second episode of season 2. Dylan says he has to feed his brother, but when Phoebe goes to see Rusty, she looks in and sees that it's actually baby Lulu. Yep, Max took the real baby because, again, coincidence that they have the exact same stroller stripe. So yeah, Max took the real baby for the doll baby. So now he is the real baby, which is like I come on, writers, you had to do the whole mistaking babies plot. Unlike I think the movie this is based on. Two men just find a baby. Don't mistake ones for each other. Yeah, this episode's a parody of two men and a baby. But instead of them switching babies, I think the two men just find a baby and decide to raise it. Never seen that movie. Just know that it's weird that they named the episode after that. But yeah. Meanwhile, back at the Thunder House living room, Max comes in. Nora says they were having so much fun at the park, and Max sucked it all away. Billy says Max is a fun sponge. Max says, did they or did they not agree to open his safe? Nora says they did not, but Max says they're doing it anyway because Max doesn't know that they had to agree to that, because if it's not, he's actually being an abandoner. But anyway, Max says he doesn't want to hear a peep out of them, and then the baby cries, and Max says, "Who peeped?" Billy says it was Nora's doll. Nora says baby Lulu doesn't cry. She wets herself because she's a lady. Then they look in to see it's the real baby. Billy thinks Nora's because Billy is not smart, he thinks that baby Lulu somehow came to life. Stop with this joke, writers. We are done with the whole Billy being an idiot jokes. We get it. He's not smart. You do not have to resort to these jokes. I thought we were done with this in season 1. Now season 2 is like bringing it back again. Anyway, he thinks it's come to life, but then Nora says it's Dylan's baby brother Rusty. Bill, yeah. And says, you took the wrong stroller, fun sponge. Billy says, it turns out he's a baby sponge too. Okay, that was kind of funny. Max says he gets a call from Phoebe, and Phoebe says Max took a baby. Max says Phoebe's in more trouble for letting Billy and Nora go to the park when they're grounded, and says and Phoebe says the guy who took a baby. Max says he'll return the baby after the state, but Phoebe says the baby. So Max says they will return the baby in a minute. So they have to do it before. They have to get baby back to the park before Barb and Hank get there. Just then, Thundermon is like, by the way, Hank and Barb are approaching. Actually, she doesn't talk like that, but she's like, alert, Barb and Hank are approaching. Wow, they did a very good job at that. Didn't think I'd be able to. She actually says parents approaching. So, yeah. So Max goes to take out the baby outside. He sees Barb, so he slams the door in Barb's face. Then Max tries to go through the front door, but Hank shows up saying, "Who wants popcorn?" Max says, "Not before dinner," using his telekinesis to shut the door. Barb shows up saying Hank went overboard in Cost Club again, and Hank says he bought the rare essentials. Hank then tells the truck, then goes outside to tell the truck to leave the olives there, but keep the mayo in the shade. Okay. Barb sees a baby crying, but Max says it's just him from being emotional with puberty. Bro, Max, you're 15. I don't think you have puberty yet. Barb hugs him and tells him to let it all out. Max says he's just confused, and Barb and Hank leave. They come back in almost immediately, and Barb says she's definitely hears a baby. But then Max puts baby Rusty in his teacher, saying now they're calling him a baby, and leaves. Says later. Hank then says Max needs a tissue, tries to send an entire box. He has a whole box of tissues in a bag, and he tries to send them down to Max's lair, but they don't fit. Meanwhile, Phoebe is pretending that Baby Lou is Rusty and says that's a good bottle and wondering where Max is. Dylan says, is that bottle still full? Let him see. So Phoebe distracts Dylan. Phoebe throws the toy baby in the air, dumps the milk out, and then catches the toy baby. I don't know how that toy baby did not fall or anything. Phoebe must just have really good gymnastics skills if she's able to catch a baby that high. Toy baby, sorry. Phoebe says she'll burp the baby, and Phoebe says, then she says, let's play a new game. Let's play a game. Kick the stroller, and she kicks the stroller. Dylan catches it, confused at what Phoebe's doing. Meanwhile, Max's lair. Rusty is crying. Max can't sneak him out of the house until he stops crying. Dr. Costa tells Max to bring Rusty over to him. Max does. Dr. Costa says boo, causing Rusty to cry more. And Dr. Costa, in one of my favorite, funniest scenes, wonders why maybe this is why he doesn't have children of his own. That was funny. So now they use Max's t-shirt to change Rusty's diaper, which they literally tie Max's t-shirt around Rusty. And before that happens, Rusty actually pees. Then Max does it. So yeah. Then tells Billy and Nora to watch Rusty as he gets rid of Hank and Barb. Nora says, "Is Max crazy? They don't know what's gonna come out of Rusty next." Then Max baby talks with Rusty, and Rusty pukes something that looks like milk all over Max. I don't know how that's possible, but meanwhile, Barb puts the stuff from Cost Club, still fighting the urge to say Costco, thanks a lot show, which rhymes. Barb says it's not a good fit. It's not gonna fit. Hank says she's doing it wrong, and we learn Barb was raised in a barn. Yep, we literally learned Barb's original last name next season. So yeah, wait for that in season 3. But yeah, it's just weird that we just learned Barb's name. But anyway, yeah. Hank gets everything fit, but Max uses telekinesis to cause everything to come out of the fridge, and Barb says that didn't happen in the barn. Hank says, "Max, they're heading back to Cost Club," and yep, that's it. Barb and Hank are just gone from the episode. This is their last ever scene, and it's with Max. They don't question where Phoebe is at all, which I'm confused about. They don't even say, "Oh, hey, where's Phoebe?" They just say, "Max, they're going to Cost Club, and by the way, we're not going to have any more scenes with you or the kids. We're just gone from the episode." Yeah, this is the last scene Hank and Barb have. They don't question where Phoebe is, which is weird because Phoebe was literally in the last scene that they were in with her. They don't know. They don't even know. Maybe they think she's at the park, but they don't even know Billy and Nora or went. So I don't know why they not even question where Phoebe is. Yep, this is Billy, Hank, and Barb's final scene of the episode, which is strange. Yep, and Hank makes his final appearance in the episode by throwing Max a box of pretzels to give Billy and Nora. Meanwhile, Dylan is getting sick of Phoebe's. Dylan is getting sick of Phoebe's new game. Dylan says he just wants Rusty back. Phoebe is about to confess about what Rusty really is when Max shows up with the real Rusty. So Dylan goes to take Rusty back when Max uses telekinesis to make Dylan fall into. Uses to make Dylan fall into a big balloon. Dylan fights the balloons as Max throws baby Lulu to them, and Max and Dylan and Billy says "score," and Nora says "give that back." That's great, Nora. That's great, Nora. That's great, Nora lines. So yeah, Phoebe uses her telekinesis to get the real Rusty. Then they do some weird shot of Rusty's face as Phoebe is floating him, using telekinesis to float him over to her. It's just weird. They just do this random shot of his face. Like, what? Why do we need a shot of Rusty's face? I don't get it. I don't. Yeah. Then they do another shot of Rusty's face as he looks at Phoebe. Guys, stop. It's creepy. These Thurman writers must have an obsession with babies if they do not want but 2 shots of this baby. It's weird. Technically, 2 shots of this baby. It's weird. But anyway. Dylan is done fighting the balloons, and Dylan takes Rusty back. Before Dylan leaves, Phoebe asks Dylan what they're gonna do next. Gonna do tomorrow. And Dylan says, yeah, he can't do tomorrow. He's a soccer. He can't do tomorrow. He has soccer practice, and Phoebe has serious issues. Dylan leaves and Phoebe yells to him that his brother has been gone all day and he's been hanging out with a doll. So yeah. Then he comes after them from off screen land and they run away. And we never see Dylan again. He's never mentioned. Phoebe's crush on him is gone. And by the way, this season, Phoebe does actually get an actual boyfriend. If you see my recap. But if you haven't, then you'll have to stay tuned for that episode when Phoebe gets an actual boyfriend. But anyway, aside from that, it's weird. Just weird that he just randomly comes after them as from off screen land as Phoebe says he's coming back, and they leave. Meanwhile, Max is later. Billy and Nora finally open Max's safe. Max thinks that there's going to be something evil inside of it. But no, he gets punched in the groin with a boxing glove. Because dark mayhem, I guess. Then Max says, "There's something in that alright," as Billy and Nora laugh at him. And so does Colosso to end the episode.